And we are live. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Yay! Hi,
Yay!
everybody. Oh, hi, Zoe, our guest. Hi, Carla.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
Zoe.
hello.
Let me just bop out cards.
Yeah, we'll get to
Here we
that
go.
later.
There we are. Yay. Oh my goodness. Hi, affirmations galore. And hi, Kimmy. I saw you popped in a while ago. So exciting. Anyway, you guys, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this night to have Zoe on. I'm so excited. Zoe, we've been friends for a long time, and I'm so glad that you considered to be on the show. I'm so happy because we
Oh,
have
thank
a really
you.
fun show and informative show tonight. But we do a little bit of housekeeping at this point. And Carla, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yay!
I'm on
Good, good,
vacation.
good. Oh, vacay! Yes.
I'm on
Now you
vacation.
behave.
No, this is my time.
No. I know. I'm so ready. I'm so
Yeah.
ready. Um, so you guys, we're gonna go over. Hi, Blair.
Yeah.
She goes, "Yay, Zoe! Do you know Blair Logan?"
Oh, hi, Blair. So I have my camera set up here, but I have my if my eyes are darting back and forth, it's because my computer's here. Although I'm not seeing any comments, so let me just make sure those are coming through for me. But
Oh,
it's
sure.
great to see you.
We're going
There
to
they
be
are.
giving away some prizes, and I do want to thank the sponsors. So Lainey Wilkin has donated from the Holistic Wellness Venue. They're going to be having a virtual fair, and I have those links in the post. And so it's going to be really neat. Lots of lecturers. They're going to give away prizes and all of that. So it'll be a free ticket to that virtual uh, holistic wellness venue. So anyway, we're going to have that a little bit later. And then there's somebody, Zoe, that you know has given us a giveaway to give away tonight. Do you want to talk about that?
That's right. So my business partner, Fred, and we have a company called House of the Wildling. And House of the Wildling is basically your one-stop shop for all witchy things. We sell products and we have a store there, but we also have courses, online courses, including our fairy one coming up. But we wanted to give away an Ostara box. Ostara is the spring equinox. And it's a pagan holiday that just passed yesterday, but we're still in that energy of spring. And so in the spirit of giving, we wanted to give away one of our boxes tonight. And the box includes ritual bath salts. It includes oils. It includes handmade beeswax candles. And it also includes a flower blessing, which is a satchel full of organic flowers that you can use in ritual. You could also sprinkle them in your bath. And so basically this little box, everything in there is organic, handmade. My business partner, Fred, makes everything with love. She is a kitchen witch through and through. So we want to give that to you.
Oh, that's so awesome. So we'll be getting names later on and giving stuff away and doing some free readings tonight. So I'm so excited about that. And also tomorrow, Carla and I will be on at the same time doing free readings. So excited. Always fun to do that. Okay, well, we want to get started because we got so much to talk about tonight. So Zoe,
Yes.
you are so multi-talented. Oh my goodness. I do brag about you. I brag on you a lot about your fantastic voice. Singing voice just is just beyond like from the universe. It's so great. I always tell people it's like a Celtic woman, and then it can be everything and anything. It's so great. So, but we do want to talk about fairy magic tonight because I want people to know a little bit about you, and then let's talk about the fae. So, a little bit about you and your little bit background, Zoe, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. And I also like to extend the love to you, Miss Debbie, because for those who are on here from my side, that are tuning into Psychic Fixes for the first time, I met Debbie many years ago in San Diego at a meetup. And I was so blown away by her ability to tune in and give readings. I've gotten several readings with Debbie over the years, and she's just very authentic, very from the heart. And I just love you. Like,
thank you.
Ever since I met you, you're just a ball of light and energy, and you just give of yourself so freely. And I'm so grateful, you know, to have you in my life. And if anybody really wants like a really like good reading, Debbie is a wonderful person to go to. And Carla, I'm actually just meeting you for the first time tonight. So I am really excited to get to know you a little bit better. But yeah, I'm just grateful to be here, truly honored. So thank you both. I just feel like I wanted to say that. So a little bit about me. Well, I identify as a fairy witch. I am an eclectic witch. And basically what that means is that I kind of pull from a lot of different traditions, but I really love working with the Fae, the elementals, and that work. I have a few different goddesses that I work with on the regular as well. And I have guardians and guides that I work with. But the Fae are just really special to me because ever since I was a little kid, I always really strongly connected with them. And that, you know, kind of dwindled in my high school years because, you know, as we know in high school, we're all like way too cool. Too cool. And so, you know, like, I'm not going to say that I believe in fairies when I'm 15 and like trying to fit in. So I kind of set all of that aside for many years. And I went through a period in my life, Debbie, you know about this, and I share about it openly, but I went through a period in my life in college where I became addicted to drugs, and things just spiraled really fast for me. I ended up homeless. I ended up hitchhiking to Portland, Oregon, where I found myself living in a drug house. And I hit a point where I had a psychic break, and I had this moment where I thought that I was in the middle of a war, and I was crouched on the side of a building in the bushes, thinking that I was being bombed. And you know, it was a miracle because I had an out-of-body experience at that time where I was pulled out of my body and I saw myself from a bird's eye view, and I saw where I was, and Spirit just showed me. Spirit was like, you have two paths. You can either keep going this route or you can go the path of healing. And I could see that the path of healing was going to be really hard, but I knew that that's what I wanted for my life. And so from there, I actually called the cops on myself and like went to a rehab and got myself into a shelter and a rehab and started to rebuild my life. But a big part of that was reconnecting with my soul. And I did a lot of shamanic work at the time, and I have done a lot of shamanic work, and I also, you know, use a lot of that in my own practice. And then I started connecting with witchcraft and paganism and the nature-based religions, because that really resonated with me. But it really wasn't until I rekindled my connection with the Fae that all of my musical talents started to come out. My artistic and creative talents started to come out. And that became for me the light and the place where I was really able to see that I had value and gifts in the world. And so that's kind of, you know, the arc of my story. And I am just so grateful to be here. And I'm one of those people where sometimes I get frustrated, but I feel like, Debbie, you can relate to this. I sometimes get frustrated with myself because I feel like I have to pick one thing. But the nature of who I am is I kind of have my hands in many different honeypots at once. And I think I'm most happy that way. And I think that that's just the nature of my soul.
Well, you're a phenomenal singer. And I know that you guys have a band. But the fact is, the performance artist, I have seen you, I don't know, I want to say 2 stories high, but you know, in this outfit you were on stilts at the top of the room. And it was just like being in Versailles. It was just, you were singing. It was just phenomenal. So everybody's glad that you're here because look at what you give back. And the people you guys need to follow Zoe and Zoe, I'm going to put you out there right now because I'm going to tell everybody that one of the best things ever just happened is Zoe has consented to have her own show on Wednesdays on Psychicfixes Facebook page. So you guys are going to be able to go not weeks from now, but Wednesday. What time is it going to be at, Zoe?
My first show is Wednesday, so 8:00 Central Time. So I'm here in Texas, and so that would be 6:00 your time.
Okay, so you're going to be there and touch on a few things that you're going to be teaching or talking about or doing.
Yes. So basically, it's I'm going to be talking about witchcraft, and I will be talking a lot about fairy craft because that is the craft that I practice. But I'll also be talking about different rituals and spell work that you can do in your own home and in your own environment. If you're interested in witchcraft and you want to dive into that magic, I'm going to help you with that. So every week we'll have kind of like a lesson where I'll talk about and cover a topic in depth. And then we'll go into a Q&A where you all can ask me any questions you want and I will answer them. And there's really no limit on that. It could be a question about witchcraft, or it could be a question about like, hey, my mom is driving me crazy. What do I do? And and I will give you a response, and I will also be giving readings during that time. So that's kind of the shape of what we'll be doing.
And we do want to do a couple of readings tonight too, before we leave. So Zoe, let's talk about fairies. I know that you've always been into that. You have a lot of knowledge and all of that. So we wanted to talk about fairy magic and whatever you wanted to say about that, and the big interest now in people wanting to know about fairies. I've noticed that. I kicked myself that I didn't get a fairy dictionary I saw in a thrift store a long time ago, but people have this big interest in the fae. And tell us a little bit what you want us to know about fairy magic tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, I want to start off by saying that my approach to fairy magic is I'm not very cerebral with it. I know that that you can get really into the history and the encyclopedia of fairies, and there are so many. Mine is more of an intuitive approach, and I find that the way that I first connected with the fae when I was young was through the land. And so I think that the fae are basically the spirits of the land. They're the spirits that are out there in nature, and they are cross-cultural. Fae is sort of the European tradition, what they call them, but you can find them all over the world, and they're called by different names. But they're basically like the elementals, the spirits of the land, and they want to connect. They want to talk to us, and if we open ourselves up and are willing to create that connection and conversation, they will show up. And so when I was a child, me and my best friend were obsessed with fairies. And so we would run to the backyard and we had a little bell and we would ding the bells and we would call them. And I don't know how we knew. We just knew that they liked offerings. So we would like save little sweets and stuff from our dinner the night before and like bring it out and like create little offerings and create little like fairy nooks and stuff in the bushes. And we were basically creating altars and offerings without knowing we were doing that. We were basically playing, which really I think that deep magic at its core is the soul playing. And it's play, right? It's our soul expressing and playing. And which is why I love fairy magic, is because at the heart of it, there's a lot of play and whimsy to it. And I grew up Roman Catholic, and I went to Catholic school, and I grew up very Catholic. Like my aunts were nuns, and I was with them a lot of the time. So I was very, it was very disciplined for me. So to have this outlet that was so just wild and feral and, and running around the back, ringing the bell and screaming for fairies. And I had a tree that I named Malcolm. and I would climb up in the tree and I would talk to Malcolm. You know, it connected me with something that was very primal and really ancestral. And I think that it's there for all of us. So, gosh, I'm getting carried away in the memories. But I would have these dreams, and they'd come to me in my dreams and talk to me in my dreams. And I just knew it was real. And now the way that I connect with them, the way that fairy magic looks like for me today is I go out in my garden and I sit and I drum and I sing and I have, you know, a fairy altar out there, and I will leave offerings, and I will see, you know, these little lights and shadows at the corner of my eye. But I hear, that is I'm clairaudient. That is my primary thing. And I'm also a channeler. But I will hear them talking to me. And so that is how I connect and have a conversation with them. Now, the thing about this reemergence of Fae in modern day culture is so fascinating to me. And I've been thinking about this a lot, because when I was a kid, it's like when you're a child, it's fine to say that you love fairies. Like, it's cute, right? They pat you on the head and like, oh, you're a cute kid. But like when you're an adult and you're saying like, I believe in fairies and I might even be a fairy, and I work with them and I talk to them. Of course, in our crowd, it's accepted. But for like the rest of a lot of the world, it's kind of like, wait a minute, is there something wrong with you? But I'm finding that that's actually changing. And I think, you know, what I believe is happening is that the fairies are really, they've always been there, but they're really making their presence known. Because if we look at what's happening in our world today with global warming and everything that's happening with the earth, we are really at a crossroads in how we are going to move forward as a species. And forgive me, I am getting on my soapbox.
You've got it.
But I mean, this is really what I think is happening. I feel like the species, we are at a point where we need to evolve. Our consciousness has to evolve. And the Fae beings and the Fae spirits and the spirits of the land want that to happen, because they're invested in this planet. And they see what an impact we have. And so they're making themselves known. They're making themselves very present and loud, because they want us to reconnect. And so this interest in fairy magic is all part of that. It's all part of the calling. I say, you know, in a lot of the language that I use, I will talk about the calling. Like, do you feel the calling? And it's that feeling. It's like a longing in your soul to reconnect with something deeper and older and wiser and bigger than you. But it's also a part of your soul. And I think that's very much reconnecting with the land, reconnecting with our roots. And the fairy are here to help us do that.
That's amazing. You know, you were talking about their language, and I was privileged to have you to my home and have you speak the language and sing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such an experience. It was very moving. So did you learn their language when they would speak to you? So you learned the language?
So the way that it happened, and this was actually the very first channeling that I started to do, was I mean, I've always been a singer. And really, when I was little, I would make up these songs, and they had no words, like as we know words. It was just kind of singing vowels and playing with the sound. So I remember kind of doing that a little bit when I was young, but it wasn't until I was older. And, you know, I have to give credit where credit is due. Lisa Gerard is one of my favorite vocalists. And she's the woman she did the Gladiator soundtrack, and she does these gorgeous, like, just drawn out, beautiful, resonant notes. And she uses her voice like an instrument, and there's no words. And I was always fascinated by what she was doing there, because it hit something in me. And one day I was just drumming, and I was, I would play with holding out notes, but then all of a sudden this language started to come out, and I didn't know what it was, but I just let it keep coming. And before I knew it, it just kind of took over, and I was singing in this language. And when I asked, my guides what it was, what I heard come back was the language of light, also the fairy language.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, okay, I don't know what this is, but somehow I know what this is. And since then, I don't really question it. I just allow it to happen. And the way that I can describe it is that it's not language in the sense of like, this set of syllables and vowels,
right,
cat.
Right.
It's more of a transmission of a feeling or an emotion or a vibration, or even like a history that's there. And so it's more of a transmission that's happening. That's the best way that I can put it.
Zoe, like when you were singing out back in my backyard, and my neighbors thought it was me. I took credit for a long time. Was that you? And I'm going, no. It was gorgeous. I know. It was like, shoot. But it started off so light and beautiful and flowing and gorgeous. And I know I had a couple of extra people there that were, when it changed, and it went low and more dark and more serious. And that did frighten them a little bit. That and the drum over our heads, but it was so like trying to, it's more like language to me to try to represent something, represent this flowing whatever, and then the other side of things. It was just so interesting. It was beautiful. It was beautiful sounding. And that's what always, I'm always like enthralled with. I'm going, oh my goodness. And so when you sing to the fairies or whatever, do you actually hear them, or you hear them with your gift, that you hear them back?
So what's happening when that's happening is it's channeling. So I'm not hearing them. I'm opening myself up to basically be a vessel for them to speak through me. And it's sort of like I am being inhabited.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way that I can put it. And so it moves through me. And in that space, I'm not hearing them, I am being them. If that makes sense.
Awesome. Awesome answer. I know that when I'm doing a reading, or I'm saying something, I'll just be walking around the house, I'll be talking to my husband or something, and then this whatever comes out, these sentences, and I'm like, okay, that wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to write, and none of it sounded like me. I'd go, who is that? Who said that? I don't remember that. And the funny thing is, too, Zoe, when I do a reading, within 24 hours, I'm blank. I don't remember a thing, anything.
Yeah.
And I think those are some of the clues that that you have had something come in and taken over, or used you as a vessel to communicate. Andrea has a question. Do you guys have a question for Zoe? And I don't know what this is, but just in case.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
An otherkin. Zoe, if you.
Yeah, so otherkin.
You know what that is?
Yes. I mean, it's basically, it is basically a type of fae. And they are, I don't know a whole lot on details about them. But I do know that it's a name for fae. There's a lot of names. In like Celtic tradition, it was considered not good luck to call them by their actual names. So they came up with all kinds of euphemisms, including the fair folk, the good people, and otherkin is in that category. It's basically they are fae. They are the fair folk. Now, among the fairies, oftentimes when people think of fairies, they think of the winged little pixies like the Tinkerbell. And yes, those do exist, but there's a whole there's a whole bunch of different types of fairies, and some of them are darker, some of them are scarier. You've got elves and gnomes and selkies and mermaids and pretty much anything that is a spirit of nature or the elementals can be considered fae beings. Even house spirits, some of them are fairies. Oftentimes we think if there's a spirit in the house, oh, it must be a ghost. Well, yeah, sometimes there is a ghost, but sometimes you might actually have a brownie, or you might have some kind of other fae creature in the household. And those aren't necessarily bad. They can actually be excellent little helpers and guardians.
I was like, I need some shoes fixed. And I need some, I mean, I'm so back in my fairy tales that I would read when I was a kid, So, but I mean, as long as everybody's helpful, come on in. We do have another question. Let's see. From Affirmations Galore, how do we connect to fairies?
I am so glad you asked. Funny enough, that actually is what our next course is all about. So we have a course that we're going to be running starting in April, and it's called Waking Fae. And the whole intention of the course is we are going to show you how to connect with the fairies, how to connect with the fairies in your environment and in your household, and also just figuring out how to create an altar, and also what your specific energy is, because fairies are like people. There's not just one kind, not all people are good or all people are bad. They have different qualities. They're very nuanced. They're not black and white. So you might have a fairy that is, really works well with you and is really nice to you, but like maybe to another person, they're kind of a troublemaker. And so that's something to keep in mind when you are working with them, that you want to have a lot of respect, show a lot of respect. I would say to begin with, one very easy thing that you can start with right away is go out to your land. And if you're in an apartment and you don't have land, you can actually just step outside, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. It can be a tree nearby or a little plot of grass, and just take some time to connect with the energy that's present around you. And I always say don't go in with expectation, because you have to understand that fairies, even though they're really eager to connect, they've got some trust issues with us humans because we haven't been that good to them. And so really it might be a while before you can connect, because it depending on how traumatized the spirits of that land are, they might have some trust issues. It might take several times of going out, leading offerings, being quiet, showing that you are there to listen and to have respect, and you are a kind human that is there only for good. And on the idea of the land being traumatized, I'm saying go connect with your land, because I think it's really important that we connect with the land that we're inhabiting. But you can also go out on a hike and go out in nature, because there's tons of them all over. And the land is not as traumatized, where it's wild and feral and they're allowed to be free. And you can go out to that land and really, same thing, just connect. You can bring an offering. You can say a prayer. You can just talk to them and let them know, like, I am sorry on behalf of my people for any trauma that's occurred, but I am here to create harmony and restore balance, and I would like to connect. And then just, again, be patient. Don't have expectation, but just see what happens. And there are different ways it happens. Wind has a long time been associated with the Fae. And it's been said that when you feel that gust of wind, it's the fair folk that are coming to you. So it might be wind, it might be tingles, it might be hearing like a little voice back here. There are different ways that they might begin to communicate with you. So that's a good place to start.
Hi, Kate. And Kate is, I guess I could say, I think you're from the UK. And she says that we used to be told putting fairy doors in the garden would invite them in.
Yes. So I have fairy doors in my garden. I'm so excited about this because I want more of them. But basically, so we have, our physical plane and our physical reality, and then we have the spiritual plane and the spiritual reality. And the fun thing about Fae is they can kind of bounce between the two, right? But they primarily live in this spiritual plane. Fairy doors are basically giving them like a little portal and a little easy way into manifesting into the physical plane. So I love fairy doors. Yes, fairy doors are a great way to do that.
Well, you're talking about trusting, and I still am on the fence with the fairies. I have to be honest. So I go out to my sacred space and I go, you don't have an invitation yet. We'll have to get to know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Affirmations galore. You said that. Let me bring up that comment. I believe that our land, our house is on, may have trauma because I had my boyfriend paint the walls white because I felt like the energy in the walls were not good. Oh my goodness. Definitely in a metaphysical thing, if you have land, the property you're worried about, or even the home, the structure, you would need to clear everything. And then you do want to make sure you bless it. Okay. We always know what Debbie says too. We need to ward it. We have to make sure that nothing bad gets in and we keep it really good for sure. Let's see what Andrea says. Andrea says, a friend of mine came to me with this otherkin concept, and he said he is an angel soul in a human body. He said, I'm a
she fairy.
She fairy. He used to read people.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's really interesting. So, yeah, there is the idea that the Fae are related to angels, that they're actually, kind of like cousins, which makes sense to me. I think of the angelic realm as, the celestial realm, and the Fae realm is more the earth-based realm, but I can see that connection.
Oh my goodness, so interesting. I'm glad we've got all these good questions coming on.
Yeah.
I did used to have like a little, I don't know, little fairy doors and windows and the chimney and everything on the stuff. It was a lot of fun. And who really believed in it? I was a nanny for international children. So one Polish little girl that I had, she would come up at night when she was going home. She would knock on the top of it to try to wake the fairies up. And I said, no, it's their time to sleep, so but she really, they really, in other countries have this affinity and I'm sure communication with them. So it's so interesting. We have to say hi to Carlos.
Hi, Carlos.
Hi, Carlos.
Carlos is like our first fan. My first fan mail came from Carlos. I get them out and I look at them, all the time. I was just telling him that. So we always have to say Carlos is in the house. And Andrea, you're coming from YouTube, and so you have a YouTube channel as well.
I do.
And you're going to be streaming to that, I believe. So what is the name of your YouTube channel?
It is That Witch Zoe. Witch, W-I-T-C-H.
So yeah, we'll have all of this online for you guys because we're going to be setting everything up so that Wednesday, here we go. We have this wonderful show where you guys can learn about all about being a witch and witchcraft and the Fae and all of that. So super excited. So let's tell everybody about the classes or the class that you're having that's coming up.
Sure, I would love to. Before I do that, I did want to mention one thing, and that was about, because I know, Debbie, you were mentioning that you're on the fence with inviting the Fae in, and you're not alone. There's a lot of people that feel that way. But I did just want to point out that like attracts like. So what I mean when I say that is, if you have, a really clean, positive vibration in your home and in the space around you, you're not going to attract malevolent fairies because they don't thrive in that environment. You got
it right, because I'm like this mischievous stuff. I don't need it right now.
Yeah, no.
You can bring the brownies to fix my stuff. I'm good.
Yeah. No, but the brownies, you can definitely have the brownies come and help you. Brownies really, really love dairy and grain. So like a little piece of bread and like a little bit of milk, and you leave that out in an offering, and they come out at night, and they actually will help with the chores. They also help with watching over children and pets and watching over the home. But I will say that they're very proud. So if you happen to see one, they tend to appear in very ragged clothes, and you never, ever, ever want to offer a brownie new clothes because they will take offense. So that's like the one rule with them.
Oh my gosh, making a list going. We don't want to make them mad.
The food offerings with the Fae. They love food.
Oh, right.
Food, crystals.
Oh, I can feed them. Yeah.
Food, crystals, and flowers. Anything organic like that, they love.
Okay, it's so interesting. Let's get us some elementals, Carla.
Yeah, I'm gonna work with the brownies. I think the brownies. Will they enjoy skim milk or coconut milk? Is there a preference?
Because sometimes like skim milk more than coconut milk because it's actual milk.
Milk. Okay.
But I think that the gesture is important. It's more about the gesture and the offering. Honey is another really good one. Honey's great. I will sometimes get honey and berries and set it out. And I like to put them on cute little, because fairies, they love beauty. So, they love things that are beautiful, and the nice ones, the ones that you all want to attract. And so, offering it on a pretty little plate, putting a little wildflower in there, and like, there you go. They will love it.
Okay. So, since we're going to talk about it, if there's some fairies that aren't as nice as the others, how do you get rid of them?
The same way that you would get rid of any kind of negative entity in the home. You can do a house clearing. You can, sage, depending on what it is, sage or Palo Santo, those can work. But I actually really prefer for the Fae folk to work with juniper is a really good one. It's very clearing. Or even like I save my Christmas tree branches and the pine. You can burn the pine. It's really, really clearing. So same way, you want to clear them that way. The other way is so let's talk about clutter for a minute in your home. So clutter attracts those gremlin-y energies, that dark, heavy, kind of shadowy, gremlin-y, dark Fae energy. So if you have clutter accumulating in your home, you definitely want to recondo it and clean your house.
Yeah.
Yep. And the good Fae, the benevolent Fae, they love a clean home. They like it tidy. They like it clean. They like walking in and feeling like the space is beautified and really taken care of. So those are two really quick and easy ways to shoo out any negative Fae.
We just keep them out of the laundry room.
Right.
You guys have a room where everything ends up there. You clean everything, declutter, but the other place you can't get through.
My closet.
Yeah, no.
My closet.
So funny. No, I know. We bring the brownies in to help clean the house and make the fairies happy.
Yeah, right.
I think they'd like my sacred space because I have, the crystals and all the pretty things are there. Yeah. And I kind of feel like I go like, I know you guys want to come in, but here's my boundaries. Not ready yet. Ankle biters. I'm just like.
Well, didn't you say, Debbie, that you can't say thank you to some, or you shouldn't say thank you or something?
Oh, it was their name or it was something. I don't know. I was reading about them and there was something that you're not supposed to. Yeah, you're not supposed to thank them or something. I don't know. But that could be Disney's, I don't know.
Carla, what you're talking about, there is an idea that they don't like to be thanked. And this kind of goes along with pride thing. But what I have found is that it's not that they don't like to be thanked. It's that fairies are very, it's like they have laser sharp vision into whether you're telling the truth or not. And in Western culture in particular, we have a tendency to be very two-faced. Like, hi, how are you? And then behind,
Yeah, nah.
and they can see right through that. So if you're not actually meaning what you say, they see right through it and they take offense. So that's another thing, is that, you know, you really need to own your feelings and what you think and what you're saying, and be really, really clear and concise with your words and have meaning behind them.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why I always say energy never lies. Energy does not lie.
That's right.
I'd be so truthful with them.
That's right.
You know, like,
yeah.
What were you thinking?
But see, they love that, because that's kind of how I talk to them. Like, I have one in my house, and she's great. I love having her. But when I moved in, she knew exactly what she wanted. She wanted a candle in a very specific part of the house. And I was like, well, you can't have a candle there. It's right in the middle of my living room. But she wanted it. So I found this cute little little piece of furniture that looks pretty, and I got it there. And then she was like, and then I want this and I want that. And I was like, hold on, girl. Like, you're not going to get the world here. And so we compromise. So I do talk to them as if, this is the thing about fairies that's a lot of fun, is that unlike deities or gods or goddesses where they kind of have this elevated position, fairies are kind of on your level. They're just in the spiritual plane. So you can have these conversations with them. And so it's not like they're not above you. And so you don't have to approach them that way. It's like another race that's on the spiritual side that you can connect with. And there are certainly fairies that are very, very powerful, that, you know, can give you a lot of wisdom when you tap into them. But, you know, they're not above you. So I am very real when I talk to my fairies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me interject, since I'm looking at the clock. If anybody, we can do a couple of readings if you guys have a question. And then if you want to be in to win tickets to the Holistic Wellness venue, and at the top of the post of the comments, I have put links in for you guys so you can go look at it. If you want to be in for that, and this wonderful, is it a witch box?
It's a witch box. Yep. It's an
I'm going to be very jealous. You guys, I want your names. I'm going to put your names on the wheel of names, and we will make some drawings. Okay. You know what? Andrea's going to follow you, Zoe.
Yay! Thank you.
That's neat.
And Andrea, if you go to houseofthewildling.com, and subscribe there, you'll get information about, you know, the different courses. You'll also get access to the blog and like all the things that are going on there as well.
I'm going to start adding names to the wheel. Hi, Phyllis. You guys want to be on there? Andrea, your name's on it. Hi, Dawn. Dawn wants to know if you can read for if we can read for her, but do we need a question?
So I will do it one of two ways. Either you can give me a direct question. If you don't have one, then I'll do a quick poll on what's happening right now for you and what you need to know.
I'm adding names, you guys. So if you want to be in for prizes, just write your name, okay? I'm sorry, Zoe. Are we going to go ahead and just do a general reading for Dawn? Is that what we're going to do?
Is that what you? Yeah, we can
just put a smiley face. So yeah, just
okay. Let me bring. We're going to do this.
She wants to know she has fairy energies around her.
Yes, you do.
I can look at your picture and say, yes, you do.
No, yes, I'm going to do. I already know this. Let's go ahead. I'll pull a Heart of Fairy just to get some clarity on what might be lingering around you. But I am feeling that you should be connecting with the dryads in particular, those are the Fae that are connected to oak trees. Connect with them. They are very, very powerful and very ancient, old energy. I would look into those. That's immediately what came up for you, for me. Okay, Queen of the Hearth and Home also came up. And so I would say look in. Can you see that? Let me just make sure.
Take that down, Deb.
There we go. Oh, hi, cat. This is my cat. She likes to do this. So Queen of the Hearth and Home tells me
Take what down?
The little ticket thing, the little comment thing, so she can show the card. I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's okay. Queen of the Hearth and Home is, I mean, that just tells me in your house you probably have, I'm not even getting that it's brownies. You might have a brownie, but I'm getting more of a sprite energy there. I feel like you should go ahead and leave an offering in your home, but be on the lookout for the little lights. And that's what I'm feeling in your house. And in order to deepen that connection, I would say that you use crystals. That works, but also singing. If you do any kind of singing, they love that. And I'm feeling like that could be also really healing for you.
Good. Carla, did you have anything to add?
Oh no, I didn't know if you wanted
to do
me
anything.
Yeah, no. This is Zoe. This is all you. I want to see your magic. This is good.
Oh.
If you want, but I mean, yeah, people want to see Zoe. Let's do Zoe. Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Who do we have? Kimmy, would you like a reading? Okay, great. Kimmy, do you have something specific, or I see Pollock.
She's saying a love reading.
Yeah.
A love reading. Okay.
I'm getting everybody's name on here. I think I got everybody. Dawn says she sings.
Oh, perfect. Then sing more. Speak to them.
I did try singing the fairy language. I tried singing like you did. Did not go well.
Did you get the dogs and the cats barking and meowing? Alley cats.
They all ran. They all ran.
The dogs started this earlier today. The neighbors. They were going crazy.
Kimmy, so here's what I'm getting. I rarely ever do this, but I'm actually being asked to read this in reverse. So the first card that I'm getting is the boy, and it's telling me that for whatever reason you've been attracting really kind of immature energy, people that really aren't ready, or people that are kind of on the fence, or like they're there but then they're not there. And so what I'm being shown is that you have, here you have this challenge. The challenge card is showing up, and it's saying like it's really, really time for you to kind of put the pause and to go in and ask yourself the really hard question of what is it that is attracting this energy, because it's this pattern that keeps repeating. And so they're asking you to kind of step back and take a bird's eye view and see the pattern and ask yourself that question. That's what I'm getting. Ask yourself the question of, what is it in you? And then I get the leaving, and the leaving often, hi, Kitty has a lot to say on this. The leaving often has to do with taking a trip or going somewhere, but in this scenario, I feel like what the leaving is actually saying is that it's identifying a part of yourself that's ready to grow and being willing to leave that behind. So it's like, it's not leaving a part of yourself behind, but it's leaving an old behavior or an old toxic pattern behind. And when you're willing to do that, then you're going to be able to actually attract the energy, a mature energy that's ready for a relationship into your life. But before that happens, there's a little bit of healing and work you got to do.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome. I've got one more person to put on the wheel.
I love it. Good stuff. So Zoe, my grandmother says.
Yeah.
So my grandmother is my spirit guide. And the thing that she says to me before the show even started, she says, "You are the woman on the mountain, and you sing the songs that continue to, she shows me how the air moves and how it ripples, like when you touch water, the ripple, the vibration of your voice continues to help the children believe in the fairies and to help them believe in the imagination and allowing them to be themselves, because so many children have forgotten the inner child. My grandmother also says that when the wind comes to you, the energy of your vibration is very, very awakening to those around you, and the wind carries it for many, many miles. The sadness that sometimes brings from the inner being of who you are in the travels that you've traveled, the roads you have seen, the depth of the inner soul is a lesson you do not take for granted. She says the energy, the work you've done has brought you to this moment. The growth will continue. And the fairies have come to you because you are a blessing to the child's imagination, to the children that need to remember, to the adults that have forgotten their inner child. She says the magic that you do is phenomenal. Your voice travels even when you don't sing. The energy that you carry, even when you don't speak, it flows. It's never ending, and it's a beautiful energy. She said she's grateful for you and you being here with us. The circle will continue, and growth is happening. Many blessings.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, Nana.
Thank you.
My grandmother, she gets me so emotional.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Oh.
Thank
Me
you.
too. I've got
Thank
a tear
you, Carla.
there.
Thank you.
She always does this to me every single time.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
very welcome.
We're going to flip the switch. We're going to give away stuff now. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's give away the ticket to the holistic wellness venue, which you guys are in the comments. There are links that you can go see what it's all about. And if you win, would you please just private message Psychic Fixes on Facebook or psychicfixes@gmail.com so that we can get your prize to you. I've got everybody in there. There's nobody new, so let's go. And we're gonna everybody manifest to win. Okay, here we go.
Everybody but Carla. Everybody but Carla and Debbie.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Click to spin. Here we go. It's going round and round and round and round. And it is, oh my goodness, it's on the line. Shannon. Shannon wins.
Nice.
So Shannon, you get a free ticket to the virtual holistic wellness venue. Now I'm going to take Shannon's name off, and this is going to be for another ticket because we were given two tickets to this. And here we go. They're going to have prizes and they're going to have lectures and all kinds of stuff. Phyllis. Phyllis.
Yay!
Okay. Okay. Now, everybody, this is for that really neat witch's box. Zoe, what's in that box? Let's get everybody excited.
Yeah, so the Ostara box, it has bath salts or ritual salts. We've also got oils. We've got scented oils, and they are infused with all of the scents of the season, the spring season. And then we've also got 2 handmade beeswax candles that are great for ritual. And then we also have a flower blessing, which is basically it's flowers And I'm not sure what else. My partner Fred made it, but basically this is a blessing that can be used in your home. It can be used in ritual, whatever space you use these flower blessing. It will bless and sanctify the home. And this box, everything in it is organic. Everything is handmade, and it's all infused with love.
Isn't it great that she has that cat right there? I love that.
What is your
All
cat's
right.
name?
Her name is Grimalkin.
Grimalkin.
Woo!
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I was going to ask if you gave the name to, or the fairy told you their name that's living in your house.
Oh, she did, but she will not let me say it.
Oh, secret.
Oh boy, one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's very, very shy. But she's very, like, her and I have a great relationship, but she's very shy.
Okay, this is for the witch's box. Oh, somebody's going to be super lucky. Here we go. And let me look. Dawn. Dawn.
Ah!
Wow. And she just put her finger up and then you called her name. I love it.
She says, I need this.
I love
There
it.
you go, girl.
I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's great.
Yay!
That's great. Oh my goodness. We are at just about at the end of our hour here. And she goes,
Yeah, good
yeah.
stuff.
And so anyway, Zoe, I'm so excited about Wednesday. Oh, it's going to be great. She said she manifested the heck out of that.
Yes, she did.
I love her spirit. I love her spirit.
Your little fairy sprites in your house are helping you out, girl.
There you go. So, anyway, gosh, we had a lot of people here. This was great. And so Zoe's going to be on Wednesday.
Mhm.
And so Central Time, you said 8, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And for those of you that wanted a reading and didn't get one, I will have a lot more time to give readings. So hop on over there and we will gift a reading. And also we are going to gift a free enrollment to the fairy course for those who have never taken a course from us. So if you're new to, me and the courses, hop over Wednesday and you'll get your chance to enter into getting enrolled into the course for free.
Love it.
You know what? And that's a great value. Absolutely a great value. So generous of you. But Zoe, you're going to start this venture with us. I'm so excited. I will be watching Wednesdays.
Yes.
And you're just about taking our old time slot. So I think that you'll do very well there. So we will see you Wednesday. You guys, I want you to follow, subscribe to Zoe in every way that you can, and also to Psychic Fixes. And we thank you so much for sharing the show. Don says, thank you so much for the gift of this box, Zoe.
Absolutely.
That was nice.
Of course, my dear.
Kate says, sweet dreams, everyone. Lovely night and early morning, because she's not in this country. And I don't know. Oh, and Fred DeLong.
Fred is my business partner. She's the one that actually made all of the stuff that's in the box.
Oh,
Yeah.
I went to school with people with that last name. Very familiar.
Yeah.
They're now in Texas, by the way. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching, and you're everything to us. And we have a lot coming up. On the 6th, Kathy Milanowski, who gives free Reiki classes. She's going to be on that day. And so we have a lot of fun things going on. So, watch us, follow us so you find out when we're coming on. CARLA does a show on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, and that is working with Nana and also doing readings. And then I do free readings on Friday. Tomorrow night, it's CARLA and me, 1 hour of readings. Okay.
Absolutely.
So We hope to see you then. Tuesdays, Lady T will interpret your dream. So do see her. She is doing great. I mean, that one time she had like 800 people. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But you do very good. You get 500. You do really good.
Yeah, people are
So-
having these dreams that they're just like, whoa.
Yeah, what was that? Yeah.
People are starting to move forward with them, yeah. And
Still
ask.
can't remember all of mine. I'll go, okay, I'm waking up. I'm going to remember this. I could tell Lady T. And then I'm like, what? What? It's like coffee.
Ask your fairies to help you. Ask them brownies to help clean up your dream cabinet there and help you.
Clean the dust out.
Maybe not. I
Yeah.
wake up with my hair braided. Straight up, Aquanet.
Nice.
Thanks a lot. I mean, I could just see that this braid sticking out, and I was like,
Oh
oh,
boy.
I pissed him off. Okay.
Um,
All right, you guys. Zoe and Carla, don't click off yet. We're going to say goodbye to everybody. And you guys, just psychicfixes@gmail.com if you want a prize, or Facebook, you can PM me and we'll get those out to you. All right. Good night, everybody. See
Good
you
night.
tomorrow. Okay.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.